The Cross and Anchor was as crowded as any other night. People came there to drink and wash away the toils of the day. It offered the best food in town, along with the prettiest serving girls. The warm fireplace and the glow of the lanterns provided a welcome sight for anyone this cold time of year. "Is the food ready yet?" a gruff voice called from the corner. "Or do you gotta kill the cow first?" Mad Jack was known to be the loudest mouth in town, especially when he had an audience and a few drinks in him. A tall blonde serving girl walked by the table. "Hey, lass, fetch me another whiskey while I wait on the cows to come home." Mad Jack slapped her on the behind as she walked away. Jack's friends laughed around the table. The sound of people talking, plates clattering, and cooks shouting filled the wooden oasis. The smell of cooked meat and baked bread hung in the air. The townsfolk looked forward to it every night. It provided them an escape from the everyday wake up, go to work, go home, and go to bed routine. Fights broke out on occasion, but in a town so small, people learned to make up quick. Everybody knew everybody. Farmers, artisans, and trade workers comprised the small town of the Crossing. Its location, nestled in a valley between the great mountain range, made it ideal for travellers to stop in. Kingsport, the capital city, sat to the west, while the rest of King George's kingdom lay to the east. To go from one to the other, the traveller had to cross the mountains or charter a boat to ferry across the sea to Stonebridge. The winter months made it treacherous for anyone brave enough to attempt the trip. Mad Jack emptied his glass and turned back to his companions. "As I was saying—" The front door slammed open, allowing red and orange sunlight to stream in. The cold blast of air and the tall figure in black made everyone stop and look. He wore black leather boots, trousers, jerkin, and a black cloak with silver embroidery. The cloak whipped and snapped in the cold wind. Beneath his cowl, a sharp jawline with a clean-shaven face could be seen, but his eyes remained covered. He closed the door behind him. The stranger made his way to the bar and sat down. The noise and commotion resumed. "Get you a drink?" the bartender asked, wiping the bar top. "Warm ale," the stranger said, resting both arms on the bar. "Don't get that request much." The bartender pulled a glass from the shelf. "Most like it cold. Got the barrels sitting out back." Mad Jack looked at his companions, disturbed by the intruder. He glared at the stranger. "Here's your whiskey, Jack," the serving girl said. Jack stood, shot the drink down, and slammed the glass on the table. Maybe it was the liquor, or maybe it was his friends coaxing him along. But whatever it was, it made him walk over to the stranger. There was something about this man he didn't like. He was going to let him know who Mad Jack was. "What's your business here in our peaceful town this time of year, stranger?" "I'm looking for someone," the stranger answered, without looking at Mad Jack. "Well, I believe you just found him. You see, I'm Mad Jack, and this here is my town." Snorts and chuckles came from every table in the room. "I'm looking for Levi," the stranger said in a calm, cool voice. "But if I was looking for a mush-brained maggot of a man, then yes, I have found him." Jack's face turned to stone and flushed bright red. 3 of his friends jumped up from the table upon hearing the insult and surrounded the stranger. The room hushed. "Here's your food, boys," the serving girl said, attempting to call Jack and his friends back to the table as she sat the plates down. The bartender sat the beer in front of the stranger. "I came here tonight for a little fun," Jack said, choking out the words. "But now I'm going to have a really good time stomping your ass." The stranger picked the beer up, emptied the glass, and softly placed it back on the bar. He stood up and met Jack's gaze. Jack noticed something unusual about the stranger's eyes, and the sight of them made him question his own bravery. "Good luck," the stranger said. Jack reared back and threw with everything he had. He caught the stranger square on the jaw, snapping the man's head to the side. The stranger snapped his head back, threw off his cloak, and grabbed Jack by the throat. The stranger tossed Jack across the room, slamming him against the far wall of the tavern. Jack's 3 friends jumped in. A bright streak of silver flashed from the stranger's side. Too quick, the sword turned red as he gutted 2 of the men. Screams filled the room as people hurried for the door. Half the men, the ones who weren't running away, picked up a stool or whatever they could find to join the fight. The third of Jack's companions landed a clean shot on the stranger. A silver streak shot through the companion's abdomen and pulled out as fast as it went in. A straight kick to the chest sent him flying towards the door, knocking people over who were trying to escape. Chairs flew, and tables were pushed aside as the men pressed toward the stranger. The blade ran red as bodies hit the floor. One man stood alone with a dagger in hand. He charged in a rage and met the same swift fate.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.